Hello guys and welcome back. So for this first tutorial right here, what I'm gonna be doing is giving you an assignment, okay? And that's because I don't want to continuously do a create, read, update and delete every time we are creating a new project, because it's just gonna bore you to death, okay? So we've done at least 4 create, read, update and delete exercises, and you should be already used to that. So for our e-commerce, behind the scenes, I created the create, read, update and delete for a product. So right here, we can create a product right here. We can pass in a price and we can upload an image for that product. And we can put in some description and I can save. And right there, we can see product created and we can edit the product and all that. So the create, read, update and delete for a product. Now, your assignment is to actually create this, and in the next video, we're gonna start working together on our e-commerce. But I'll go ahead and show you my source code and show you everything that I implemented. So let me just show you to my directory structure right here. Okay, so here's my directory structure, and I'll show you around. So the first thing that I did is I created a users table seeder so that I can have a default administrator. And we've seen how to create multiple uncountable seeders, so you can take care of that. Next thing, I created a products table seeder, but before I show you that, let me show you my create products table migration. So obviously I created that migration with an @ command, and I have a name, I have an image field, I have a big integer right here for a price, and I have a text which is description. Okay, next I'll show you my model. Nothing in the model except my fillable field so that I can mass assign this. Okay, that's it. Next, I have my products table seeder so as to create some default data into my products table. So right here, I have product 1, which is the name of the book, the image, and this right here. Okay, so this is just a link to the default image, okay, which I haven't yet included. Yeah, but you go ahead and actually you're gonna put in the uploads directory. So right here I'll just add uploads, and right here I'm also gonna add uploads. Okay, so those are the links to my default images, and also same thing for the second product, and I created them. So you can do that. I'm showing you around so you know what the assignment is gonna make you do. Okay, so next thing, I created a products controller, and this is where all the magic happens. First, I started by registering a resource right here. So after registering this resource, as we all know, if I want PHP Artisan route list, it's gonna give me a list of exception or a group of routes. So right here we have products and all of that. So it registered about 7 routes for us right here with that resource. Okay, so you should go ahead and also register a resource. And right here in our controller, if I take you there, you discover that our index method, first of all, I protected this controller. Every method in this controller is protected by the authenticated middleware. So it means that if I am not authenticated, I will not be able to access this route. So if I go to / maybe products, it will redirect me to the login page. Okay, so every method on this controller is protected by middleware. So go ahead and do that, or you can also create a routes group here and put that in it. Next thing, I have an index which returns a view where I can see all my posts, and then I have a create. So let's just go ahead and see that view. So if I head over to my directory right here, I have a products directory, and right there I have an index view where I display all the views. So I just display the views by looping through a table for each, and I display the name, display the price, and I put a route to edit the product. And right here I have a form that deletes. And remember that when we are using resource, this has to be a delete request. So when we are passing the delete request, right here we also pass the CSRF token. We make sure that the method is post, and when the user clicks on delete, it's gonna delete that resource. So if I click on delete right here, you see that it's deleted. So let's go ahead to our controller. That's what the index method does. It returns that view with all the products in our table. Next, we have the create, which is going to return the view for creating a post. So return that view is a products.create. So in our products directory, .create. And this .create simply has, like we saw, the CSRF token, the name, price, image field, description, and submitting to the route for storing, of course. And don't forget the multi-platform data because we are uploading an image. Next thing in our products controller, we have the store. First of all, we validate the data, making sure the name is there, description is there, price is there, image is there, and make sure that it's an image. Next, we create a new product, and right here, this is the logic to upload that image, and we've gone through this many times. So you get the image. Next thing, you assign a new name to the image, and then you move that file to where you want to upload it. Next thing, we assign the rest of the fields into our database, and when we are storing the image, we make sure that we pass in the path to that image, and then we concatenate it to the name of the image. Then we just save, flash, and return the user back. Next thing, editing the view. We just return that view, and we return with the particular product that we found using the ID that was passed, because that ID is coming out from our index.php right here. Okay, so right here we're passing the ID, and here we are using that ID in our controller to find that product and pass it to our products.edit view. If you check out our products.edit view right here, you discover that we are also precising that the method should be put, and here we also say method equals post, and we just pass in some data, and the value is product name. Right here the value is also product price, and also just like we've been doing all this while. So one thing I'd like to show you in my create.blade.php, I'll show you right here, is this that I included. So value of old name, and this is simply a way for us to persist data on validation fails. For example, if I say new product, and rather than filling all this information, I just leave it at that. Of course, we have validation errors, but if I had maybe one of the fields already filled up and I say save product, you discover that when the validation errors come back, this data still persists, because I'm saying get me the old name in the request. Also get me the old price, because if I put in price right here, you discover that that data is still there. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Okay, that's my fault right there. Okay, so right here, if I put in a name and then I also put in a price and I don't put in any of this, you discover that the description is empty, but this is precise. But if I put in this, you discover that the data is still gonna persist right there. So this is all due to this old method. So the old method, we are getting the old name in the request in case of validation fails, and we are echoing it out right here. The same thing here, and also the same thing for the description. Obviously, we don't want to echo out the image. Okay, so everything looks great. In our products controller, the last thing I like to show you, same thing for the updates. When we get the data, we validate it, we find the image, we check if the image has a file, we upload it, and then we assign those fields, we save, flash, return, redirect. Now for our delete, we are doing something little different. And what is that? I am deleting the image of that product that I'm gonna delete. So I'll say if the file exists, these are just PHP functions. If the file exists, product image, because remember in our products or in our products table, we are storing something like uploads slash products directory slash name of image dot png, and then we'll pass in this into the file exists method, and it's gonna check in this directory right here. Does that file exist? If the file exists, then unlink it, means delete it, and that's all. And we're gonna delete the image. After that, we delete the product, flash the session, return redirect back. Okay, so if I just go ahead and create this method till the end, and I save the product, you see the product is saved. If I head back right here and you check in that directory, in our products directory, we have 2 images. But if I delete this and I delete this, right there we have no images anymore, because that method that we just said right there is unlinking the images, meaning deleting them. So go ahead and set up this functionality, and if you need any help, make sure to check out my source code. Is going to be available for you, but I prefer for you to try to do it yourself. Try to implement it yourself. And these messages I'm displaying right here obviously are in my app.blade.php. Right here I'm just checking if the session has success, then alert success. And right here I'm also checking if there are some errors, validation errors. Just create a new list group and loop through all those errors, just like we've been doing. So everything looks great. And thank you so much for watching. Set this up, and in the next video, next video, we're gonna start building our e-commerce site. Thank you so much.